Hey everyone, welcome back. I felt inspired to share some more musings on Archangel Samuel for the purpose of integration and to help us all embrace the darkness and to understand it a little better and to just use this time to make friends with the darkness together. So, Archangel Samuel as the left hand of God, which we talked about in the last video. Go check that out. If you did not check that out, it's a beautiful meditation that you can engage to go on a quest to defeat darkness and to integrate darkness. So that's what we did in the last video. And at the end, I shared some musings about the fun, playful ways I engage the darkness and negativity. And I just want to continue to talk on that for a moment because, I don't want us to get in a place of being judgmental towards the darkness or towards negativity, right? It's so important that we are on this journey of ascension, on this journey of spiritual transformation, that we're able to hold both equally and get to a place where we're not judging it and we're understanding the role that all experiences play in this game of life, in this game of love. This is a game of love. And so all experiences lead back to love eventually. That's what they're designed to do. So when we stray too far from love, we're going to get shrouded in more and more and more darkness, and more negative types of experiences might occur to ultimately help us crack open and see through that darkness and find the light that is hidden in those shadows, right? So this is also about shadow work. This is about understanding why darkness has been present in our lives, why we go through periods of darkness. We want to remember the cyclical nature of life, of this universe that we're in, and we're always going to be going through periods of awakening and stepping into the light and feeling very active and inspired and creating. And then we're going to go through periods like winter, right? Like autumn and winter, where we're slowing down and we're purposefully, going into the darkness and spending a little more time to ourselves and reflecting and gestating ideas and coming up with visions and intentions for then what we might manifest and create in the light part of the cycle when we're getting active again. And so it's so good to think about the cyclical nature of reality and how there is this balancing mechanism in the universe. There is a balance for a reason. And one thing I think we can think about with Archangel Samuel, or this consciousness that is more or less in charge of the darkness and in charge of negativity in the universe, is that, again, that's there to help balance the light, right? We can't fully appreciate the light if we don't have experiences of darkness. Contrast is so good for us. It just is. And we've even learned from some ET cultures and civilizations that those that have been so much in the light and in experiences that don't have as much polarity, they get a little bored. There's actually an aspect of that polarity that makes life interesting, that keeps it interesting. It keeps us on our toes sometimes. Now, what I mentioned in the last video was this, playful attitude I was having in regards to the negativity and the darkness, especially in relation to how imbalanced it's gotten on this planet. So we've experienced, some of the most intense negativity, evil, really, really, really dark extremes on this planet, right? And we don't want that to continue. That is an imbalance that has occurred. Now, in a kind of more balanced scenario, you wouldn't be experiencing that level of extreme distortion, negativity, evil. You would be experiencing a a less intense version of negativity. And a lot of people experience that in their lives, right? We go through these periods that might be a little darker, or we might experience something that is negative, and then we experience something that's positive. And again, we have that contrast. And, thinking about Archangel Samuel as the one that's in charge of the darkness, I started going through this process of, again, in a playful, communing type of way, talking to that consciousness, and also honoring it, honoring the role it plays in this universe, and also acknowledging where that consciousness has taken on a life of its own, and how that consciousness needs to reel things back in a little bit, right? That we cannot let things get that extreme. Otherwise, we just go into complete destruction, and that's not what the universe is about. So the universe is about loving evolution. The goal is to always be evolving into more complex, loving order. When there's such intense negativity present, that can't happen, right? So part of my process of talking to Samuel and engaging this consciousness is also about recognizing that we've just got extremes present that need to come into balance, and that I honor the darkness. I love the darkness in a lot of ways. There's so much we can learn about the cycle of life by going into the darkness. There are treasures to be found in the darkness. Anytime shadow is present, it's just hiding the light. And when we find that light, then we access our soul gifts, our talents. We can access more gifts from spirit that might want to be gifted to us. We might be able to access power animals. We might be able to learn more about our journey and where we're supposed to be headed. We find these treasures. And so I was talking to Archangel Samuel about the idea that, look, Samuel is just helping us on this treasure hunt. So, putting all the really intense evil to the side, and just thinking about the idea that there's just the darkness, shadow side of reality and life and experiences that just covers the light. And we're just on this continual treasure hunt. We're on a quest. We're we're in a game. It's like a game of life. And so we're playing this game where we are being asked to navigate our way through the darkness. Sometimes we are playing this game where, when we do navigate our way through the darkness in the right way, we find treasures, and we then get to integrate them into our life experience. And over time, we develop this really big treasure chest, and then we have all these treasures and tools and things at our disposal that we can use, that are part of our intelligence, that are part of our consciousness. And so I was having fun playing devil's advocate. I literally said that to Samuel, look, I'm going to play devil's advocate because I'm not judging you. I'm not judging the darkness. I'm not judging what you're here to do and support in this universe. And here's one really cool way of thinking about you that might be helpful for us going forward, is that you're in charge of the treasure hunt. You're just in charge of covering up all of the treasures of this universe, right? That this bountiful, abundant, loving, light-filled universe has so many incredible treasures and gifts and things we can manifest and things we can create and things we can experience. But, there might be a large portion of that's out of view for us, right? That's obscured by the darkness, by the shadows. And so part of our quest, part of our journey on this game of life, is going on a treasure hunt. So think about it that way. Anytime you're finding yourself in the darkness, and that can be hard sometimes, because when it covers us, when we are experiencing negativity and darkness, it can feel heavy, so sometimes these things are easier said than done. I feel that too sometimes, but if we can think of it as, okay, the treasure hunt has been activated. I am now here in the darkness to find a treasure. What is it? And what do I need to heal? What do I need to accept? What do I need to practice non-judgment around? What do I need to love more? What story is living inside of me that is preventing me from embodying my, fullest treasure chest, from having my fullest treasure chest. So I'm starting to like have this new found respect for this consciousness and this newfound way of thinking about it as Archangel Samuel, that you know I don't even like to use the word Satan, because again, things have gotten just real distorted here on earth. Just like the most extreme wild place in the universe. So, I don't even like to use that word because it's been co-opted in ways that have just become like pure evil, and like, so it is not always helpful to use that word. But if you think of that consciousness being the consciousness that drives the Satan archetype, right, in us, in this world, in this universe, it doesn't ever have to go to that extreme for us to navigate this game of life appropriately. Things just got that extreme here on earth. But if we think about this consciousness as the consciousness that is in charge of the treasure hunt, that is just hiding the treasures for us, that's all it's doing. It's just hiding the treasures in all these shadows and all of these ways we think and operate that are out of alignment with spiritual law, that are out of alignment with the light and abundance and beauty of God, right? So this consciousness takes us from divine order into chaos. This consciousness takes us from divine order into shadows. This consciousness is the one that tempts us, right, into disorderly ways of operating, where we then get out of balance, where we're then, maybe not loving as much as we could, or not giving as much as we could, right? There's just all these little, even subtle ways we start to get out of balance, and this consciousness is in charge of that. Right? It's his job to pull you into the shadows, right? But when we're in the shadows, it's not a bad thing, because it's just a treasure hunt. It's just a treasure hunt to figure out, how do we illuminate the shadow and what's hidden in it? What's actually hidden under that distortion, right? Like under whatever distorted way of operating, or a distorted way of thinking, or underneath whatever negativity is present, or underneath whatever negativity we might be feeling towards another or towards an experience. What's actually under the surface there, right? And that's a whole nother healing conversation that we're not going to get into. But once we find that, then we find all the treasures that come with it. And then we can start to really play with the universe in some incredible ways. And I would recommend for anyone who's found this musing interesting to check out the past life meditation, the lower world journey meditation that was posted recently. I'm going to link to it below. That is an incredibly helpful meditation for going into the shadow and accessing the chambers of your soul that will give you information about what caused some distortion that's present in your life, whatever negativity, whatever relationship issue, whatever limiting belief, whatever, negative situation is present in your life. This journey meditation helps you figure out what caused that. Like, what was the root cause? And then once we find that, then we can identify, well, what belief got installed, or what soul contract with spirit got installed from that event. So like a trauma occurred, and then we took on a belief that, like, we're not good enough, or that we're always going to be abandoned, or whatever. And then we change that contract. And then we go find the part of our soul, our essential energy, that is ready to come home to us, that contains all of our unique intelligence and skills, and we call that back to us. It contains our power, we call that back to us. And then we go into a chamber where we find gifts, we find treasures that maybe we've used in past lives, or maybe are dormant skills that are ready to come online within us, or maybe it is a treasure, a gift directly from spirit that is going to help you on your journey. Like, this is a real life quest. Like, all the things we've learned about with like video games and quests and like Zelda. Do you remember Zelda? That was my generation. Like, life is that. It literally is that. We just need to learn how to engage the darkness and the shadows in a way where we're navigating that treasure hunt, where we're navigating that quest in a more easeful way, in a way that doesn't spin us out of control, in a way that doesn't leave us, in a totally imbalanced state. Humans just lost a lot of spiritual wisdom and tools and practices that help us on this treasure hunt, on this game of life. So check out that meditation. It has been so, so incredibly supportive for me in my journey and navigating the shadows and integrating all those treasures and filling my treasure chest. I've got a really big treasure chest now. So thank you, Archangel Samuel, for that. I think it's important that we, again, we're not judging the darkness. We're learning about like the holistic makeup of it all and how to work with it all and how to integrate it all. And yes, things have got out of balance here on Earth, and we've gone through really, really long periods of darkness, and we're working on shifting that now to a more balanced, a more light state on this planet. That's the goal. So Archangel Samuel's helping us with that. We just have to understand that consciousness a little better. We have to understand its role a little better. We have to appreciate it, right? Because anytime we judge something, anytime we are afraid of something, well, you can be sure you are going to experience more of that until you stop judging it and stop being afraid of it. Right? That's how the universe works. So whatever you're afraid of, whatever you're judging, whatever you're not accepting, those are the lessons that are going to keep showing up. And you're going to keep moving through experiences that allow you to work your way to this place of being able to say, thank you, Archangel Samuel. I get it. I love this treasure hunt. This is a cool thing. You have a cool job in this universe. Sometimes it goes a little extreme, and we're just trying to balance that out. But it's good to be able to hold that, and to be able to, I think, get to a place where we can have those sorts of musings and conversation, and again, not fear the darkness, not fear negativity, to understand the role it has played, to understand why things have occurred the way they have, and to understand how we can work with that aspect of consciousness in a more conscious way, right? It only gets really out of balance and difficult to work with when we're unconscious of it. That's true for everything, in life. So it's like whatever we're unconscious of, the universe is going to just give us experiences to help us become more conscious of it. Again, whatever we're fearing, the universe is going to give us experiences to help us move through that fear, right? Like, this is how the game works. So I hope that's helpful. That this is a treasure hunt, and Archangel Samuel is just a pirate. So I hope thinking about it that way is helpful for you and can help you on your journey of integrating this understanding of this consciousness.